If you're a smoker who wants to quit but somehow fails in this journey a lot, this video is for you. Once you finish this video, you're gonna understand the exact reasons why you keep failing so you could prove the mistakes and correct your own way. The cycle you see is the basic adaptation of any habit in this world. Whether you play guitar or whether you learn how to smoke or want to stop smoking, this cycle is heavily useful. Pay attention to this. So trigger, what does trigger mean? Well, trigger means we kind of get stimulated by something and to pull ourselves in the behavior, which is flirtation of the thought of habit. So to clear you a much more tangible example, let's say I want to stop smoking, but I'm in a party night. So trigger means I'm solving someone who's smoking and enjoying his time, maybe since I'm maybe a social smoker. Then this thought will be hit to behavior and I'm gonna think, oh, this guy's so happy having his time and I must smoke about this. Yeah, why I'm missing on this opportunity? Then I start to put this on the action. If I try to resist at this point, I'm gonna crave cigarettes. If you try to stop the cycle from here, just you could possibly do, but that's why most of people crave cigarettes, because it's hard to do. And there's last part is action / reward. You light the cigarette, you get temporary reward. Basically, you may dance for 30 seconds, for 1 minute, because you achieved the goal you want to achieve, right? Then this will lead to feedback. Basically says, oh, we smoked at this party, we become happy. So once you go to the party and become happy, if you need to become happy, light a goddamn cigarette. I don't care if it's healthy or not. That's what you do, that's what you feel, and the feeling is the most important thing in this world. This smoking habit is only about emotional and irrational thoughts. Basically, most of them trying to treat the situation with logic, saying losing money, losing erection, blah 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 blah. It's not going to work. Once you understand this cycle and do one simple thing, you're going to change your life. So what's that simple thing? Let me show it to you. Basically, that simple thing is observation. Becoming a scientist or 5-year-old, in your words, try and question everything about cigarettes. We need to do this because to differentiate the truth about this. So just a random dude wanted to learn guitar, and if he wants to learn guitar, he has to put themselves in fire, and fire represents effort / discomfort. Basically, that's pretty much it. He watched Kurt Cobain or someone else as a trigger, so he got triggered. He wants to put some behavior now. Oh God, I want to become a Kurt Cobain, something like that. He has to put this in action, but several times he has to put this in action, because at one time you're not going to become Kurt Cobain, right? Maybe there's someone out there who achieve it, but most of us, no, you just have to put yourself in this fire. So okay, this guy starts to voluntarily put himself into this fire, basically practicing, listening Kurt Cobain. He learned how to play guitar, like he got his promise if he put himself into this fire, and now he's Kurt Cobain maybe after 6 months. But when it comes to smoking, you're already in this fire. You're trying to find your way out, but accidentally you're bashing your head to something called wall of excuses. And what do you mean by wall of excuses? Well, basically it's our beliefs about cigarettes, and it formed in 2 ways, which is one is emotion, one is logic. And we only use our logical side of brain, literally 1%, or some scientific books it's up to 5% of something, but mostly we rule our lives with emotions. Just remember the first cigarette that you lighted. Either you want to look cool around your friends, either you want to escape from situation. It's an emotion. You didn't light the cigarette with logical. Okay, even you could say some people just felt curious and light the cigarette. Isn't it logical? But pay attention, curiosity. There is still an emotion which triggers the action. You don't just like, oh, I wonder what cigarette like. You don't act like that scientist. If you do, you're never gonna become addicted. That's why I said observe, like a scientist in the beginning, because it's the most helpful thing that you could do. Then you could read Alan Carr, then you could do any therapy cessation tool, although you don't need to. As human beings, we seek the pleasure and we're trying to avoid the pain. That's why most of us think cigarettes are relaxing things to do. It helps them to cope with life, blah, blah, blah. They're just trying to avoid the pain, but they don't realize it. That's why I call it excuses, because excuses are kind of irrational and they happen without us realizing, right? If it was logical, you're gonna understand how stupid it was, and basically that's what I say. You have to observe like a scientist in the start. And some for us it's the case of pleasure. So what do you mean, by the way? Let's say social smokers or people who want to smoke with coffees, alcohols like I used to, right? And basically they just want to amplify the good feeling in their lives. Most of the time either they don't have anything good in their lives, or they just want to feel even good more, like, and whatever your main reason is, just understand. All you have to do is observe. Make the unconscious conscious, like Carl Jung says, and it's not going to rule your life anymore. Then you could actually decide if you want to quit, if you don't want to quit, if you want to reduce, whatever is your goal, then you could achieve it. But before that, you have to do this work. And once you do this work, there will be another cycle is opening up. Basically, you're going to ask yourself simple question without you realizing. Why do I think smoking is useful? Why do I want to stop smoking? Or why do I even start smoking at the start? Like so many whys. Once you come up to this stage, I want to congratulate you. You handle 50% of the quit smoking. Like that's simple. So what's the other step? Well, making a decision. Just saying with your full heart, without any doubts, I'm not gonna go back to this habit. I don't want to do it anymore. I know it's stupid. I know it doesn't fulfill my why, basically. Maybe feeling relaxed or feeling better in social occasions. At the end of the day, you just quit. But here's what most smokers do. They just open 3 crossroads by just not making a decision. One of them is maybe I smoke more in the future. Maybe I abandon a little bit, then come back. And maybe I will quit totally, but who knows? I don't know. Because they're not certain about themselves. They just want to rely on someone else, basically. That's the biggest mistake you could do. That's why you see so many people like buying Alan Carr books or getting the necessary knowledge and just failing on the journey. You could literally lock someone in a house for 30 days without cigarettes, they're gonna quit. But if they're still the same person and never make the decision, nothing's gonna work. So this is the 50%, this is the other 50%. If you handle those 2 parts correctly, that's pretty much it. On the cherry on top, if you want to learn more about it, you educate yourself on the topic. So basically, if you think on your subconscious mind smoking makes you relax, you just read an article or you buy a book, Alan Carr's Freedom Model, Neuro Habits, any book. It could any book you want. So now you know every knowledge you need to actually stop smoking and don't make start and stops. And if you want to quit once and for all, there's a link in the description to book a call with me so we could handle the situation together. This is I2 and I know you're gonna make it.